Now on BBC News, the biggest African and international news stories. Focus on Africa.
This is Focus on Africa. I'm Lukwesa, Burak. Our top stories. More and more countries pull their diplomats out as citizens flee the Sudanese capital as fighting continues into a second week. Kenyan police exhume scores of bodies from shallow graves as they investigate a preacher who's said to have told his followers to starve to death. Meet the pioneer of Popiano, South Africa's music star Tyler, fresh from her European tour with R&B singer, and speaks to the BBC. Also in the programme, all the sport with Mimi, as the Kenyan runner Kelvin Kiptum has been described as the new Eliud Kipchoge following his impressive run at the London Marathon. Hello and welcome to Focus on Africa, coming to you from BBC News. Well, we begin in Sudan, where fighting between the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces and the country's army continues. The UN Secretary-General, Antonio Guterres, has warned that the violence between the warring parties could escalate and spread further than we could imagine. Let's take a listen. Okay. Johannes Voldemariam, we've run out of time, but thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Still to come on the programme, all the sport with Mimi, as Algeria's Riyad Mahrez says his side are highly motivated to complete a treble of trophies this season after his hat-trick in the FA Cup over the weekend.
I think we can use a form of capitalism and continue to get its benefits while solving climate change.
We should remember that the globalization we had before brought more than 1 billion people out of poverty.
I don't wake up thinking, I'm here to change the world, but I wake up thinking maybe I can make the world a better place.
Women ourselves are finding our power. We always had a voice. We just weren't allowed to use it.
I think that's the strength of Georgia, and that's the resilience of Georgia, to be able to continue on its path towards Europe, towards NATO.
When big names talk, they talk to the BBC.
Now, more bodies have been exhumed on land owned by a Kenyan pastor accused of lending, or rather leading, followers of his Christian cult to starve themselves in order to ascend to heaven. This now brings the death toll to nearly 60 since the discovery of the first bodies by police last week in forests near the coastal town of Malindi in Kilifi County. Well, earlier the president called for the prosecution of the leader of the Good News International Church, describing him as a terrorist. He was first arrested on the 23rd of March in connection with the deaths of 2 children. There are concerns that the death toll could rise. Kane Thierry has more. Okay, it's weather, not weather, I was going to say weather, it's sports time.
Awful outside, Lukwesa, so bring some brightness right now. We start in athletics, where Kenyan runner Kelvin Kiptum has been described as the new Eliud Kipchoge after running the second fastest marathon in history in London on Sunday. That's all the sport. Lukwesa.
Mimi, thank you very much indeed. And that is it from myself and Mimi. You can get in touch with Mimi and myself on social media at Mimosa Fawaz and at Lukwesa Burak. We'll both see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.